The USA women's hockey team take home the gold against Canada, winning 2-1 in overtime. And there's no better person to talk to when it comes to women's hockey here in Minnesota than Alexis Pearson. She works with the Frost. She works with the Wild. She probably covers, just like peewee hockey games, knee hockey that people are playing in the hallways as they're waiting for their hockey tournament games. I mean, Alexis covers it all. Thanks for joining the show today, Alexis, after a historic win.
Thanks, Max. This timed out well, you guys. I mean, we couldn't have planned this any better. I am still running on adrenaline. I was trying to put off getting ready until the game was over. It timed out perfectly. I quickly got ready in 10 minutes, and here we are, fresh off the win, ready to talk about it.
I know. I was just like, if they don't finish overtime, what the hell are we gonna do? We're gonna have to keep pushing this back. And we were looking it up because it doesn't go to shootout in the Olympics, right? It'd be like this 3-on-3 sudden death if it would have went past overtime.
Does go to a shootout, actually. I don't know in the gold medal game if it does. I know in earlier games it will go to a shootout, but I don't know exactly how it works actually in the gold medal game. But that's why they give you 20 minutes of OT in the Olympics, because no one wants a shootout. We want an overtime goal, and we got one, and it didn't even take that long, and it was beautiful.
That's awesome. Alexis, can you walk us through exactly what happened for those of us that didn't see it? I know Megan Keller is the one that got the game-winning goal.
Yeah, well, 16 PWHL players on Team USA, and 2 of them teamed up for the game-winning goal. One of them is Minnesota's very own Taylor Heisey with an electric feed from behind the goal line all the way down the ice. Megan Keller makes an incredible play to beat out the Canadian player who was trying to defend her, cuts to the front of the net, and on a backhander is able to throw it back behind Anne-Renee Desbiens for the game-winning goal. Just an electric finish. Even the tying goal with a few minutes left in regulation, that was exciting. And then you get the overtime goal. So it was an incredible effort by Team USA. And I truly feel like this is one of the best women's teams Team USA has ever put together. And I think they showed it here in this Olympics.
Alexis, we're not used to these heart palpitations throughout these hockey games, because it's just been belt to butt for every single game for these ladies. What was different about this game against Canada? Because we just saw them play like 2 weeks ago, and it was 5-1.
Yeah. And what's crazy is, earlier in the Olympics for the women's team, it's like you could throw the game on, you could do some chores, wash the dishes.
Right.
They're gonna win. It's no problem. You don't have to stay glued to the TV. Oh, they're up 3-0, 4-0. Great, beautiful. You get to this game, and all of a sudden you gotta lock in here in this game, and then Canada scores the shorthanded goal to go up, and it's a nail biter down to the final minutes. Then you get OT. I think in this game, Canada came out really strong. I thought they were the better team in the first period, even though it was 0-0 after 1. And obviously, I think a lot of people expected that because of the way the last game went between these two teams earlier in the Olympics. There was no way Canada was going to get beat like that again. So I was not surprised to see Canada come out strong. They made Team USA really work hard, and I think Team USA looked a little discombobulated at times in that first period. I don't know if it was the push from Team Canada, just the adrenaline of the gold medal game. Whatever it was, they seemed a little out of sorts. By period 2, they got it figured out. They made that push late. They started to play a little more cohesively, and I think one of the stars and biggest pieces of the game was Erin Frankel in between the pipes for Team USA. Anybody who watches the PWHL on a regular basis knows how incredibly awesome of a goaltender she is, and the entire world got to see that on display here tonight and throughout the entire playoffs.
That's awesome. Alexis, what does this mean for USA women's hockey going forward? This is their 7th straight win over Canada. I mean, have they just kind of cemented themselves as the nation for women's hockey now?
Well, this year, especially of international play, Minnesota, Team USA has absolutely
might as well be Minnesota.
At this point, yeah. They have absolutely owned Team Canada at all the different tournaments and whatnot. The women have done an incredible job in those games. But if you look at the bigger picture of the history of Team Canada versus Team USA in these big games in the Olympics, Team Canada has had the edge. Team USA has only won twice in the gold medal game against Team Canada. And obviously women's hockey hasn't been around in the Olympics as long as men's hockey has, but Team Canada has had the edge there. But this year in international play, Olympics and everything else, Team USA has had it figured out. And coming into the Olympics this year, Canada was the underdog for a lot of people, and Canada did not like that. You heard a lot of the players saying, we don't accept that. We don't accept that take. We are not the underdog. And I think you saw that in the Olympics here, that Team USA is not to be messed with. Like you said, Max, I mean, they took care of business relatively easily up until this gold medal game where they really had to use some elbow grease to win this one. But what a finish it was. And I'm glad it was a game like this. You don't want a 5-0 gold medal game. You want something that's exciting. You want something that's memorable. And we got that here. Team USA, as of right now, as of this year, seems to be the top team to beat.
Right. You want a game that makes heroes, especially on the stage like this. And speaking of that, that's, we kind of just talked about it on the macro level, but don't you think on a micro level, I'm starting to see a lot more people talk about individuals on this team. Like we just mentioned, Taylor Heise. She's become, I mean, like the face of women's hockey now.
Yeah.
You mentioned Erin Franklin. Like we're starting to see more like stars being born, and that has to be nothing but good for the PWHL, right?
That's the beauty of this movement of women's hockey and the PWHL that we've seen. I think over the course of women's hockey's history, and especially at the international stage, when you get those big games, you see people talking about it, right? People get excited for these big games, whether they watch hockey, women's hockey, or no sports. When it gets to this level, people get excited. But now we're at the point where there's women's hockey on TV all the time. You've got the PWHL, you've got some great college hockey teams at the women's level that really stand out night after night. And so it's not like the old days where you only got to watch women's hockey once every 4 years. Now it's, all right, it's a Wednesday night, I'm going to turn on a PWHL game, or it's a Saturday afternoon, I'm going to go down to Grand Casino Arena and watch the Frost play. And so beautiful about what is happening is now it's not just, oh, like the women's hockey team is good. It's, hey, look at this player. Hey, look at what that goaltender did. That's my new favorite player. I want to buy that person's jersey. I want to go to a game and see this player in person. So like you said, you're seeing this at a micro level now. These players are rising, not these teams. These players are rising to stardom, and people know who they are, and they're talking about them. And it is so fun to watch and to kind of be witness to this. It's sad it's taken this long to get to that point, but man, am I glad to be a part of it and get to witness people fall in love with these players.
It's such a great point. You're right. People are talking about individual players in addition to Team USA. Before it was just, the Americans,
Sure.
But I think it's great.
And these days, that's the key. We've seen the same exact thing in the growth of the WNBA. People start to get invested in the personalities and the people. And that's just kind of, we talked about that even just on a news level earlier today, that people are invested in the personalities and the individuals more than brands these days.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Speaking of the PWHL and their players, what's next for the Frost? When do they get back stateside? When does the season pick back up?
So the season picks back up at the end of February, much like the NHL does. The Minnesota Frost won't be back home until a little later in March, but everyone starts getting back in action here in about a week. So after today's game, everyone will head back to their respective PWHL teams, and they'll pick right back up where they left off. And then we've got about 2 months left of the regular season, and then in May we hit the playoffs again, and the Minnesota Frost will be looking to three-peat.
Let's go. I want to ask you about the Wild in just a second, Alexis, but while we're still on the topic of the Olympics, was there actually, I haven't gotten any clarification about this, was there actually on Team USA and on Canada former people two people that were in a couple and then broke up and then they're playing against each other? They were playing against each other today? I heard some type of story about there was a couple, one on Team USA, one on Canada.
Okay.
I don't know if they're shooting a second season of Heated Rivalry and I'm just being punked here. And if they are, I'm in. But if it's real, I'm also in. But that's some high-level drama right there.
Okay, I'm going to have to dig into this tea. Thank you for bringing this to my attention, Max. I did not hear about a breakup and then a matchup against each other. There is many couples that have played against each other in the PWHL and in the Olympics, actually. And even like Laura Stacey and Marie-Philippe Poulin are married, and they both play for Team Canada and play on the same line in Montreal for the PWHL as well. So there's many couples out there. I haven't heard about this breakup and then play against each other, but I'm on board for the drama. You know me, Max. So I'm going to have to look into this.
Yeah, please spill the tea when you figure it out, because again, it might just
You'll
be
the
season
first person
2.
I text.
Thank you. It might just be season 2 of Heated Rivalry, and if that's the case, I'm here for it too. But I hope it's real.
That's awesome.
Great teaser for it if it is.
Right. Okay. Now back to the men's side. I believe they were back at practice yesterday. When is the Minnesota Wild season kick back up?
They're back at practice. Obviously, the guys who are playing in the Olympics aren't there yet, so it's kind of a limited practice with who's still here in Minnesota, not participating in the Olympics. But their first game back is February 26th, so that's next Thursday. They've got back-to-back the 26th and the 27th of February, and then they roll right into the weekend with a game on March 1st and a heavy schedule to close out the season. It's anytime you've got that Olympic season, everything feels so condensed. You've got a lot of games up until the break. You've got a lot of games crammed in after the break. The Wild actually, heading into I believe it was the end of the calendar year, had played the most games they had ever played at that point in a season this year. So they had played, I think, 42 or 43 games. So they were over halfway done with their regular season by the time the calendar rolled over. So it's that time of year, or that type of season with the Olympics. Everything is kind of crammed together, and the Wild won't miss a beat. They'll pick right back up in game action next Thursday.
Alexis, let's get a prediction for tomorrow's USA-Sweden semifinal match. What do you think?
Oh my gosh. I mean, the game yesterday was back-to-back overtime games should be criminal. I mean, I can't, I have anxiety without all this going on. So, I mean, we can't be doing this every day. So I do think it's going to be a close matchup, though. I'm going to say, after the overtime win the other day, I think Team USA takes care of business again. I think they come away with a 3-2 win, but in regulation, because I'm done with the overtime for now. You want to do overtime again? You can do it in the gold medal game. No more until then, please.
Yes.
Fingers crossed for a blowout. I know we don't want one in the gold medal game. We want some drama, but this one, let's get a 5-0 game. Our hearts need a rest, especially yours, Alexis. You're covering this just as good as anybody else. So thanks for joining the show today.